Great Lakes snowstorm blankets Northeast and Midwest, stranding motorists. Remember that yesterday they warned us there would be 5 feet of snow. Kimberly Stoller was glad to be off the roads in Erie, Pennsylvania on Saturday. Not that she had much choice. She couldn't open her front door, no matter how hard she pushed against the estimated 50 inches of snow that had drifted over. She knew her SUV was somewhere in her driveway, but she couldn't tell exactly where. I'm just trying today to ignore the fact that I can't get out of my house and just be thankful for what I have in my house, said Mrs. Stoller, 33, an Erie native, who said this storm was the worst that she could recall. More than 2 feet of snow blanked western New York and Pennsylvania on Saturday, with some parts getting more than 3 feet as the lake effect snowstorm disrupted post-Thanksgiving travel and stranded dozens of vehicles on highways. The storm threatened to bring up to 6 feet of snow in some areas by Tuesday morning. The snowfall was heaviest along Interstate 90, the National Weather Service said, which hugs Lake Erie from Buffalo through Pennsylvania and on to Cleveland, Erie, and parts of northern Michigan. Eastern Ohio and western New York received about 30 inches of snow or more, the service said Saturday. National Guard troops were dispatched in New York and Pennsylvania. Some of the most dramatic scenes of the storm were out of Erie. Its normally lively downtown was deserted as a fast-falling snow trapped residents inside their homes. Motorists barred from Interstate 90 wound up stranded in 2-lane highways, and truck owners towed cars out of ditches. Temporary shelters were set up for travelers who were stuck, where a few hundred people took refuge, according to Brenton Davis, the executive of Erie County, Pennsylvania. Kevin Rickard, 33, who was visiting family in Erie from Chicago, had hoped to take his wife and their 2-year-old son to the Experience Children's Museum downtown, but their plans, of course, were quickly derailed because of the weather. The heavy snowfall was a lake effect storm caused by cold air pushing over the relatively warm waters of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, said Michelle Gaines, lead meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Binghamton, New York. The storms pick up moisture over the lakes and then dump it when they hit colder land, typically engulfing relatively small areas with huge amounts of snow. On Friday night, Miss Miller said we've kind of accepted that we're stranded and we don't know what's happening. She said on Saturday that she was in the clear after 2 a.m. and she finally reached home in the afternoon, about 24 hours after leaving Buffalo, New York. According to AAA, the automobile organization, nearly 80 million people were expected to travel for Thanksgiving this year. About 3 million in the United States were expected to travel by air on Sunday. Towns across western New York were bracing for more snow, as Governor Kathy Hochul, who declared a state of emergency Friday in nearly a dozen counties, warned that the worst was yet to come in the state. The most significant snowfall in western New York was expected to arrive Saturday and last into Sunday. Parts of Buffalo could receive up to 20 inches of snow through Sunday, when the Bills host the San Francisco 49ers in nearby Orchard Park, New York on Saturday. The storm prevented the delivery of the city's daily paper, the Buffalo News, because of road closures and restrictions on commercial truck driving. Winter weather advisory in effect across West Virginia, northern Kentucky, southern Illinois and Indiana, Missouri and eastern Kansas, with a few inches of snow and slippery road conditions in the forecast. And Mrs. Hunt had looked forward to welcoming customers to her cheerfully decorated shop. Instead, she spent the day at her downtown home, where neighbors came together to check on one another and coordinate grocery runs. It is pretty, she said, of the snow, but it can be pretty at 4 inches, not 4 feet. This is from New York Times on DNYUZ. All of you, please be very, very careful and alert. Don't go out if you don't have to. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.